Welcome everybody to the warmth of California and to Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, home normally of the San Francisco 49ers, but home tonight to a meeting of United States of America and Jamaica competing in their second consecutive Gold Cup final. Pitch conditions here, it's a very pleasant 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The USA, well, this is how they got here, with a 1-1 draw to start with against Panama. Then victory over Martinique by 3-2, and convincingly since then 3-0 against Nicaragua, 2-0 against El Salvador and 2-0 against Costa Rica. As for Jamaica, well, very consistent, especially defensively. A 2-0 win to begin with there, as you can see on the caption, Curacao. Mexico a 0-0 draw. They actually played the Aztecas twice. They also drew with El Salvador, beat Canada in the quarterfinal, and then overcame the Mexicans, who were probably the favourites in that semi-final. We are in this terrific Levi's Stadium. It's a sunless evening as Michael Bradley prepares to lead out the American side. He's never won the Gold Cup, Michael Bradley, despite playing in a number of matches. He actually scored it in a final. And here come the Reggae Boys, as they are known, Jamaica, all ready to party. When they arrived here tonight, they were singing all the way into the dressing room. I wonder if they'll be singing in a couple of hours' time. And the word revenge is often well, refuted by coaches, but it has to be in the minds of USA, because the only time they've ever lost to a Caribbean nation was in the semi-final 2 years ago, when Jamaica beat them by 2-1. I wonder if history could repeat itself. No Caribbean nation has ever won the Concacaf Gold Cup. So the goalkeeper there, number 1, Andre Blake, is for me one of the men of the tournament. Here they come then, the referee Walter Lopez from Guatemala leads the two teams towards the exit of the tunnel and towards the crescendo of noise that will greet them here from the fans in Santa Clara, in the Bay of San Francisco. Jamaica, as you can see, will be wearing their traditional yellow shirts. And the United States, the most prolific team in the tournament, having netted 11 times, and Jamaica with an equal best defensive record, having let in only 2 goals. And you may be able to hear a voice booming out around the stadium here now, asking the fans to welcome the two teams. And around me, all the fans are standing. It's always a special moment when the teams emerge in a cup final. The United States looking to be victorious for the first time since 2013, and Bruce Arena looking to become the first coach ever to win the Gold Cup on 3 occasions. He's had a wonderful start to his second reign in charge. Here they come, USA versus Jamaica. Welcome everybody to the Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. It's Gold Cup final day. What a proud moment for the players. USA were the very first winners of this competition. They are unbeaten in their last 13 matches. And Jamaica has not lost in the Gold Cup since their defeat 2 years ago in the final to Mexico.
in the fan pledge before the match. Check out the big screens.
National anthems, the fan awareness campaign continues with the two captains making statements. They will be Michael Bradley for United States of America and Andre Blake, the skipper of Jamaica. The microphones will be handed to them.
We, the captains of the national teams participating today, pledge to set an example for our children, our families, and all those around us. At the stadium, we won't use our voices to hurt, offend, or discriminate. Let's live in a state of calm. Remember, our children are watching.
We, the captains of the national team participating today, pledge to set an example for our children, our families, and all those around us. At the stadium, we won't use our voice to hurt, offend, or discriminate. Let's live in a state of calm. Remember, our children are watching.
And it's lovely to see a lot of children in the stadium. And everybody will now rise for the national anthems of the two competing countries. First of all, Jamaica, and then the United States of America.
Damas y caballeros, nos ponemos de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Jamaica, seguido por el himno nacional de los Estados Unidos de América.
Fancy dress to the fore. Superwoman's here. Let's see if we've got some super footballers today for you. I'm sure we have. Big occasion here in Santa Clara. And now for the team news, beginning with USA. Tim Howard has been unbeatable since his quarter-final recall. Jorge Villafana has buttoned down the left-back role. Matt Beasler is looking for his second Gold Cup winners medal. Jordan Morris again starts in attack. Paul Ariola works the right flank. Darlington Nagbe and the captain Michael Bradley are the workaholics in the midfield. And Jose Altidore will provide muscle in attack, with Clint Dempsey again held back, but certain to continue his quest to become the state's record goal scorer at some stage. Victory will make Bruce Arena the only coach to win the Gold Cup 3 times, and that's the way his team will line up today. And he was paying tribute yesterday to Michael Bradley, his captain. He says he's known him since the first week he was born. Michael Bradley, son of former US coach Bob Bradley, of course. Walter Lopez of Guatemala is our referee today. A 36-year-old who refereed the Club World Cup final a few years ago. Now Jamaica, a contender for the Golden Glove Award. Andre Blake is their number 1. In front of him, Ladali Ritchie keeps his place ahead of available again Kevin Lambert. Oreo Fisher starts ahead of Sean Francis. Darren Mattox scored in the 2015 final against Mexico. Kemar Lawrence was the goal-scoring hero of the semi-final, and Romario Williams, like Mattox, has 2 goals to his name in the tournament already. Coach Theodore Whitmore sends out a team full of 6-footers, and in this formation, 5-3-2. So we're all set to go here. The Levi's Stadium, the latest to grace this occasion. Last time out it was the Lincoln Financial Stadium in Philadelphia. Perhaps Pasadena has been the host. But the Reggae boys here are all ready and set to do business. We know plenty about their cricketers, and a certain fellow called Usain Bolt. The one player with a yellow card against his name on the subs list is Sean Francis. Expect to see number 28 Clint Dempsey from the United States. That is for certain. More than half of the pitch covered in shadow. Tim Howard came back in the quarter-final due to a new regulation permitting each coach to bring in 6 players. And it was rather harsh on 1 or 2 of the ones who'd been featured, but Bruce Arena chose that. And he has left out Dom Dwyer, who this week completed a record move in MLS of $1.2 million from Sporting Kansas City to Orlando City. So no doubt Dom is watching somewhere rather than playing, to his disappointment. Jamaica in yellow get the game off. Welcome again, everybody, to the Concacaf Gold Cup final of 2017. This allowed to go through to Howard, who welcomed an early touch of the ball, and then he rolls it out first time to Acosta. The US playing in this red and blue strip, which they've favoured on all but one occasion throughout the tournament. They came into it having conceded goals in 6 or 7 matches, which is a record, but they've managed to keep 3 clean sheets in a row now against Nicaragua, El Salvador and Costa Rica. Left full-back there, Villafana. And the 2 centre-backs, Beasler and Gonzalez, trading the passes. Gonzalez, one of the stars of this show. He's got a couple of goals from set pieces. 6 in the evening here, well, 6:45 kick-off here on the West Coast. Nagby, Acosta, Ariola. Still all the way through here. That might be the first shot of the match. It was an opportunity for Nagby, he couldn't take it. But it's all about the US possession. And I think both coaches, as Howard took his time there to get the ball away before Mattox got in the challenge. Both coaches recognise that it's likely to be US attacking for much of this game. And Jamaica defending with that excellent record they have in front of the splendid 6'4" goalkeeper Blake, who is well known here, of course, because he plays for the Philadelphia Union side and MLS. Taking the throw-in, Kemar Lawrence, who was definitely the hero of the semi-final win against Mexico with an 88th minute free kick. That's useful, and there's a real opportunity down the right side here for Ariola to play in Altidore. Didn't quite reach him because of good work at the heart of the defence from Lowe. Turning on it is Williams. He's got real genuine pace. Williams thundering on down the touchline, but then playing the ball directly into touch. Romario Williams there, who also plays in this country with Charleston Battery. Zusi. Some crossfield pass from one side of the field to the other to Nagby. Bradley doing the job he does so well as the fulcrum of the midfield. Nagby always introduces purpose to any attack. Biafana's cross is not forthcoming, and this will be picked up by Blake. Captain in orange today. So the standard of goalkeeping in the Gold Cup this year has been excellent. I can barely remember a bad goalkeeping error from anybody. This will be a free kick. Sariola, Gordon. Alain Gordon there, one who does play in Jamaica at Montego Bay. What a wonderful fort that is. Yesterday the coach Theodore Whitmore was expressing the hope that these young footballers will get the same amount of respect they deserve as the cricketers and athletes do in the Caribbean country. They're certainly making an impact here in the United States. This man, number 5, Alvas Powell, plays with Portland Timbers. So a colleague of Darlington Nagby's. Bradley, always available. Sharp challenge there that the referee's assistant signals is a foul one. Williams says I was going for the ball. And Biafana felt that crunch on his toe end. All about 3 teams, and the referee and his assistants are the 3rd team today out there. But we've had virtually 5 minutes, no alarms. Beasley very much the left-sided of the 2 centre-backs. He's a real left-footed player, Matt Beasley. Costa. Nagby almost lost the possession, but they've just about managed to retain it with Biafana. Away from Jamaica by Nagby, who was making good progress down the left, but Morris couldn't relocate him. Interesting that Jordan Morris is again selected to start the game ahead of Clint Dempsey. Dempsey's not had a lot of football recently. Bradley angles the ball in here. Splendid defending again from Lawrence, who's an absolute fixture at the New York Red Bulls these days. Great hustling here to win the ball back for the Jamaican side. From Williams, he is potent. What a pace about the Reggae Boys. No shortage of talent either. Exemplified there by Mattox. That is Mattox again now. Another who was picked out by Arena yesterday as a danger to the States today. Mattox has scored against the USA. An offside flag here. Gonzalez there with 2 goals in the tournament. Against Martinique and El Salvador, as we look at Theodore Whitmore on the bench there. A man who played in the 1998 World Cup finals, actually scored twice in a match against Japan. The only time Jamaica has won a match in the World Cup finals. Costa makes himself available this time. States have tended to get most of their goals in the second half of matches. Ariola. Ariola was in sharply again there, but the ball is whipped away from him and out Out on the right is Powell. Free kick again for the Jamaicans. Bruce Arena has got a better record than any other coach in Gold Cup history in terms of matches won. This might go out for a corner. Howard was, of course, very alert there, Tim Howard. Zusi got his head to the ball. It is Theodore Whitmore there. He looks rather stern today. Man who plied his trade in England with two famous old clubs, Hull City and Tranmere Rovers, before going back to his own country. He took over from John Barnes in one stint, famous John Barnes in Liverpool, in one stint as coach. More recently from the German Winfried Schäfer. Shadows are lengthening across this Levi Stadium. Match finals have been played at the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Azteca Stadium in Mexico, interestingly. Well, the referee's in sharper here, and it was Morris who's got the free kick. It was Watson who clattered into Jordan Morris. Let's have a look at this one again. Morris, no holds barred. Well, I think he went for the ball, but he certainly has taken out his opponent. He actually did get the ball first before crunching into the right ankle of the Seattle Sounders player. Morris uncomplaining, hobbles away. Bradley takes the short free kick. Gonzalez threads the ball through in between two defenders, an opportunity here, but the final ball wasn't a great one from Zusi. Nonetheless, Zusi's there a second time, and that's a better opportunity. And it's right across there. How well Jamaica are defending, typically through Jermaine Taylor this time. A man with close to 100 caps. The Americans are definitely the more experienced team, however. I think there are one or two newish names in the squad. They've got over 500 caps between them in the starting lineup. Just onside. A rather excitable cross ball from Kelly Acosta, the FC Dallas boy. And Arena has been quite vocal on the touchline in most of the matches, but there's nothing much to say about that. And there's a lovely view of the stadium and the blue skies up above. Well, have a look at that. 74% to the US of A and 26% only. This is the way it's going to go, though. It's just what we expected of this encounter. Jamaica happy to soak up the pressure. Bradley can't pick out anybody in the same colours this time. And that's a great stumbling run. Good play from Gordon. They are exciting when they manage to dart forward like that. This time it's Amiola left wincing. Whether he'll need the physiotherapist, I'm not sure. The referee's over there. We'll ask the question, because if he does require treatment, then he has to leave the field of play before he can return. And that injury is certainly the signal for the US to go and warm three players up. I can see Zardes for one, having a little jog off to go behind the net. The longer ball here from Viafana, easily covered. I alluded to the fact that Jamaica have so many 6-foot-plus defenders. That was one of them, Damien Lowe, 6'3", and there's Powell, he's another one. All that possession, it's with Acosta now. Viafana, Nagbe showed the ball. Went the other way, but stabbed back. That's not regarded as a back pass. Darlington Nagby has become a fixture in the side this year. Prior to the Gold Cup, when he didn't play in the qualifying in the group stages, he played in every single international this calendar year. There he is now, winning it, and giving it, and taking it back. Nagby always at the heart of things. I think he and Bradley have more touches than anybody else. Ariola looks to be okay as he plays a part in this attack. Worked away for Matrix, but they're always under pressure, Jamaica. You have to give the United States great credit, especially in the centre of the midfield. I referred to Bradley and Nagby as workaholics. And so they are, but now they have to defend for virtually the first time. Howard's been virtually redundant since a touch of the ball in the first few seconds. Foul on Nagby. No worries about yellow cards. There might be a worry for Jamaica here as Morris makes tracks. Super bit of defending. What an excellent piece of defending from Lowe. Use those great long legs of his there to great effect. And that's where height does come in. The pitch does look to be cutting up quite badly at the moment in various areas. Look, just look at that. That is awful. That is a worry. There has been criticism before of this pitch. And there'll be criticism again today, I would imagine. Another concern is we're quite close to San Jose Airport, international airport here, and often pilots complain about when the lights are on, as they are at the moment. But it's difficult for them coming in to the airport for landing. Let's hope they don't have problems this evening. We've had a quarter of an hour, we haven't had a goal. In fact, I'm not sure we've had a shot. Maybe Zuzi can provide some action here. Altidore's whipped it away to Nagby. He will get a shot through, but it slews away off the outside of his boot and disappointingly out. Darlington Nagby's only ever scored one goal for his country. He was a winner against Ecuador. This was never going to be a winner. Way off. Born in Liberia, Darlington Nagby. His family moved to the States when he was tiny. But the crowds have been good throughout this tournament. Played in all the different cities. And Williams both interested in taking a part in this move. Still will be. And out down the sidelines. 14 different stadiums in 13 metropolitan areas have been utilised during the running of this excellent Gold Cup. The United States looking to get to within one of Mexico's record 7 titles. For the States first since 2013, when this man Bradley scored in the final but was a loser. He scored against this opposition Jamaica 2 years ago in the semi-final. It's an unfortunate slip just as he was making ground down the right side for Fisher. Bradley badly now. He also had a goal recently in a World Cup qualifier against Mexico. There's the way to the net. Let's see if anybody else does. There's the number of players slipping. We've just referred to the surface and showed you some shots of it cutting up badly. But now you wonder about the footwear of some of these players, because that's noticeable that a couple have slipped badly, including Viafana there. It was interesting that neither team chose to train in this stadium last evening, both using facilities nearer to the hotels where they were based. Well, that is a poor giveaway, and this might just give USA an opportunity to drive in from here. Altidore, we've seen nothing of his attacking force. We'll see him now. It's the first real save of the game, and the ball, although it trickles towards the net, well, that was calm. It's a good strike from Altidore, good save from Blake, though he wasn't able to complete the catch. The goalkeeper's down, by the way, now, behind the line, in front of his net, and clutching his wrist, it would seem to me. Is that because of the ferocity of the Altidore pile driver? Here he goes, right-footed, the man who scored in the semi-final. And no, I think that's where he may have got the injury, as Kellyn Acosta came racing in to try and capitalise. Once again, we see the agility of this goalkeeper. He really has been a standout performer in this competition. And the ball was trickling towards the net, probably going to go outside, but calm as you like. Damien Lowe took it away. Here it is again, Altidore's right boot. And it's just sort of palmed out by the acrobatic Blake. They're more concerned about whether he's going to be able to continue here, though. They don't want to be losing their star man. And look how quick he is. His reflexes are terrific. That's why he was the MLS goalkeeper of the year. And all his teammates are concerned. The medics on the Jamaica side doing their job, and no question he has hurt. He is hurt here. Each team has a squad of 23 players, and Jamaica do have 2 goalkeepers on the bench. 30-year-old Dwayne Miller, who's played more than 30 matches for his country, so it's even more than Blake. And the untried Damien Hyatt from Arnott Gardens. Well, I can see that there is concern, and Miller may be called upon. Well, how dramatic this would be for a man who plays in the 2nd division in Sweden for a club called Syrianska. And what a massive disappointment it would be for Andre Blake if he has to give way to Miller. It's looking like he is. And this is a big, big moment in the game. And that's with all due respect to Miller, who's a good enough keeper in his own rights. But as you can see, there is terrific concern about Andre Blake. And the impact there of that shot initially from Altidore. And then as Acosta came following in, he was obviously in pain. He did his job first. He managed to keep out the shots, but as you can see, Miller's going through the routine. An experienced man to be able to summon from the bench. Blake back on his feet. Yeah, he's getting a pat on the head. Whether that means thank goodness you're going to be okay, or whether it means I'm sorry, you're going to have to go off. Miller is still ready to come on, that is for sure. And it may have been a pat of consolation on the head of Andre Blake. Here again, there it is. There's the save initially made, just thrusts up the arm, keeps it away. And then down he goes bravely at the feet of Acosta, and he was in trouble from that moment on. The switch has been made, and Miller takes the place of Blake. Just one other little comment to make about this, by the way, that if the game does go to extra time, each team is allowed a fourth substitute. More of that later, but that's a big disappointment for the Jamaican support and for Andre Blake. Here's the new man, given an opportunity he wasn't expecting. No matter how many times goalkeepers are on the bench, they don't honestly believe they're going to get on very often. But Dwayne Miller won a medal at the 2007 Pan American Games, and he's now very much a part of this Gold Cup final, trying to win another medal. But you really do feel for Blake. And, another patch of consolation for him. Always a massive blow for a goalkeeper to have to be replaced. He wanted so much to be a big part of this occasion, to win the Golden Glove, which he still could do, of course. Jamaica has a free kick, back to the match. Can they also get a lead? That would lift them no end as Howard decides not to come off his line, and the referee has blown the whistle, Mr. Lopez, and it's going to be a free kick against Lowe. Halfway through the opening half, and Jamaica have lost their inspirational goalkeeper. Andre Blake disconsolate as he makes his way to the dressing room. A wave to the support. Generous support as well from both sets of fans. And one hopes for Philadelphia Union's sake as well that it's not a serious injury and that he's back playing before long. Let's see how his replacement goes on. Free kick for USA. Game not yet exploded into life, but that incident has certainly got the crowd buzzing a bit. Miller awaits and anticipates. Bradley free kick. It's been driven into the right sort of zone, and there's a confident start. Well, Miller made his debut 10 years ago against Malaysia, so he's no stranger to big match football. And this is one of the biggest matches, the final of the Gold Cup. And remarkable to think that Jamaica have been in consecutive finals. But there is a growing feeling that the Caribbean nations are closing the gap. We've seen the likes of Martinique do very well here. Lifted forward by Beasley. USA 0, Jamaica 0, 26 minutes played. Santa Clara, as Powell plays it, and Bradley was hustling to win the ball in what would have been a very dangerous area there. But fortunately, Watson kept his composure. He's instigated a move which continues down the left-hand side. Darren Mattocks has taken over the captain's armband. The 27-year-old, the only member of this squad who'd ever scored in the Gold Cup prior to this tournament. They've not been particularly prolific, Jamaica. They've scored 6 times in their 5 matches. Mattocks has got a couple, Williams has got a couple. Kemar Lawrence, of course, with that winner against Mexico. Sean Francis was there, what a score. Bradley now, he'll drive over the halfway line, he'll find Nagbe. Nagbe rolls it to Altidore. Altidore again on the left foot. Viafana, crowd getting excited, but no purchase on the cross from Viafana. But look how many Americans are surrounding the opposition there. New purpose maybe about them. And well, there must be a whistle here, a free kick of some sort. Well, just a little bit heated. The ref is due to blow his whistle at any stage there, and he wants words with Areola. He's got a good explanation. You always knew the whistle was going to go at some stage there around those skirmishes. Altidore was down first, Watson was down second, and the third man to go down was Ritchie. Jamaica's free kick. Still not quite had half an hour. But, Tim Howard gets about his third touch of the ball. And a good crowd in the Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara now, still with the lovely blue sky and reasonably warm. Well, the day has not been as hot as some. Altidore, he misses it, nearly got back to him. They are so well organised. That's a point that Bruce Arena's been making, that the Caribbean sides are much better organised than they ever used to be. They try to move forward in number this time. With Mattox. Bradley there to cut this one out. And, that's a fair win of the ball, no question about that. Straight through to the welcoming arms of the regular goalkeeper. Cap number 118 for Howard today, and he's released Zusi down the right channel. Areola will support as well. Here he comes. There are two across in the centre. The ball back is met, but not very well met that time by Taylor. And he scuffed his clearance and got away with it. Zusi's become very much an integral part of this side. Here he is now, having drifted infield from right-back duties. Nagbe, Biafana on the outside. Nagbe goes the other way. Not quite read by Acosta, I don't think, there. Many of this United States team are playing together for the first time in a competition. 10 of them, 10 of the squad had never played under Arena before it started out. Bruce Arena resumed control of the side. Here we have a break down the right, and he's held on well, and so is the defender. Good intent from Gordon, good defending from USA. Biafana in particular. He is one of the newer boys. I was just going to say that Arena took over in November from Jurgen Klinsmann and has an unblemished record since then. Morris takes up intelligent positions. Acosta. "13 games unbeaten since he took over the reins again. The best start ever by a United States coach to a reign. And he, in the Gold Cup, has 17 wins, 4 draws and only 1 defeat. Extraordinary record. This is Williams. Then again Gordon. Making ground down the right is Powell. So the game's going very much as we expected. Nagbe's busy, as always. That's what they call a good engine, Darlington Nagbe. So is this man, Bradley. And the yellow card is shown here to Mattox. He doesn't look surprised, I have to say. It had to be something he's said there when he shouldn't have done. He spoke out of turn, and that's what happens when the referee's close enough to hear. Beasler. It's a poor ball from Beasler. It really was directed to the opponent. Jamaica really to try and work their way out. Theodore Whitmore had a simple explanation as to how his team were going to win. He said, if we get one goal and they don't get any, we'll win. Fair comment. But at the moment, neither side looks like scoring, and we've had 33 minutes. USA with 3 clean sheets in a row. Jamaica with 3 clean sheets in their 5 matches. Just conceded once to El Salvador and once to Canada. So they do take some breaking down, but as I mentioned earlier, the goals have tended to come in the second half of matches in this Gold Cup. We've had 52 goals in all. We're awaiting goal number 53. Maybe USA could provide it as we get towards half-time. We look again at Kemar Lawrence, whose father was a goalkeeper, Orville Edwards, who played for his country. Zusi again came a long way across field there to take part in this move, continued by Nagbe. The Vietnam has done well to get that ball over, and they may get a corner out of this. Shielded by Areola to make sure it is a corner. Once again, Lawrence, the 24-year-old, at the heart of that defence, keeping it secure in front of the new goalkeeper, Dwayne Miller. There he is, another tall fella, and a good man to call upon in the circumstances prevailing here with the injury to Andre Blake. Remember, Omar Gonzalez has scored twice from set pieces. He's not going to score with that free kick. It was a poor one, corner kick. It was a poor one, too flat. A wasted run for Omar, who plays for Pachuca in Mexico. Acosta. Nagbe can only see yellow shirts, I would think. Dito Villafana there. So well, there are 4 or 5 yellow shirts around the American, whoever is on the ball. Now Gonzalez will get into the opposition half with the ball at his foot. Nobody much to play it to. That's better. And Morris. First time shot. The flag's been raised. Morris was in an offside position. Again, you got a glimpse there of just how many yellow shirts were around. As the referee's assistant, Menderito Leal, raised the flag. And that's where he was offside. Jordan Morris scored a couple in the 3-2 win against Martinique. He also hit the post in the 12th second of the semi-final against Costa Rica. To the back. Good headed winner from Gonzalez there. Powell from Portland Timbers. Free kick Jamaica. And Acosta's going to have his name taken here for this challenge on Ritchie. So the first caution for one of the US players, Kellen Acosta. Yellow cards were wiped out after the quarter-final stage. Acosta from Plano in Texas, who played in a couple of under-20 World Cup finals and an under-17 one. It's Jamaica's chance, and Howard can only pump the ball away with his fists, and it doesn't matter because the referee, as so often happens, has come to his aid as well with the whistle. Not sure whether he was fouled at all. Yeah, he was. The culprit was Damien Lowe. Beasley. Well, Jamaica left it very late in defeating Mexico in the semi-final. The 88th minute when Kemar Lawrence curled in a beauty of a free kick. Now it's a lovely run down the left here for the Reggae boys. Terrific run And it's a corner kick, but it had to be spot on defending there from Gonzalez to frustrate Matix. Wonderful run down the left touchline, great pace, great purpose, knew exactly where he was going, could have gone all the way, but the intervention of Gonzalez sufficient. Corner kick Jamaica, 7 minutes before the break. Chants around me of USA, but it's the Jamaican fans who should be chanting. Not quite as many of them in the stadium as there are from the host country. Nonetheless, a corner. Howard stays on the line this time. They're big men in there, but it's a big man on the opposition, Altidore, who gets beat to ball and clatters it away. That's what you call fortuitous. It all peters out rather harmlessly. Tim Howard it's his third Gold Cup, his third final. Way back in 2007, he was a member of a winning side. Morris tries to get goal side. The referee says play on here. Big chance for Acosta. Was he fouled? No, he was not. And once again, it's Jamaica who emerge unscathed and work the ball left. There's a shout for a handball here, and I think the referee will sympathise with that shout against Wayne Gordon. Well, there are boos around the stadium. I think many of the American fans thought their team might have won an award at the other end of the field a moment ago when Kellen Acosta was struggling to get away a shot. The referee was closer to the action than any of the fans. This stadium does hold 68,500. It's not full, but there's a good crowd in. Beasley's ball direct to Gordon. On to Matix. We've just seen his pace. He's not sure where to go here now, though. He does the right thing in checking and delivering the ball left. But rather disappointing, it's going to come all the way back, and we're within 5 minutes of a half-time break. A lemon break, they call it in some countries. All the time in the world for Zusi to deliver to Gonzalez. Altidore superbly taken down by the big fella. Andy feeds Nagbe. Is there a breakthrough on the cards here? Nagbe with the pullback. Here's still the chance. Bodies everywhere. Most of them Jamaican defenders, and the referee will incur the wrath of the fans again. They're up in arms around me. Acosta's not had any favours in the penalty area. It was Areola who took it there. Let's see where the foul was committed there by Acosta, driving into the back of Ladali Ritchie. I keep wanting to say Lionel Richie, I can't think why, but he's definitely Ladali Ritchie, and he's a footballer, not a singer. And the referee's not the most popular man in Santa Clara right now, because he's blown his whistle to the aid of the Caribbean side. Costa does have a goal for his country. He netted it the week before this Gold Cup competition started. It's against Ghana. And now there'll be another free kick for the Jamaicans. I don't think anybody could complain about that one. Beasley. Matix was the incident. And Theodore Whitmore, arms folded, calm man. 44 years of age, the Jamaican coach. Wants to see Howard picking the ball out of his net. It would be remarkable if he was to be beaten from this distance. There are 4 or 5 or 6 even yellow shirts strung across the 18-yard line. Looks as though it will come in from Lawrence, possibly left-footed. Everybody back for USA here. And it is Lawrence. That's harmless. Much too close to Tim Howard. And we're now getting towards 2 minutes from the interval. As Morris takes it down in one. That was lovely skill from Morris. Continued, knocked over, barged over, no free kick. The charge in the back was effective, and again they're howling around me at the moment. This referee is not what you would call a homer. Viafana has Nagby for support. Nagby always looks as though he's about to set up something, and he might have done here for Michael Bradley. And now they will get a free kick. Now we'll see what they've been doing on the training ground. The challenge back by Romario Williams. The 22-year-old on Michael Bradley, much his senior, is an illegal one. So 25 yards from the net. An opportunity here for the United States of America. An opportunity for the referee to produce his spray can. And an opportunity for Dwayne Miller to show off the vocals, shouting his support and his organisational skills to those in front. Well, we've seen Altidore thumping one shot in this first half, which led to goalkeeper Blake having to be replaced. We know he's a big man, having shown us his torso after he scored in the semi-final. And he backs a punch. I wonder if he is about to pack in goal number 39 of his career. Acosta's there as well. It is Altidore! I told you he packed a punch. The ball flew into the back of Dwayne Miller's net. The big Jamaican couldn't keep this one out, and it's a perfect free kick. Amazingly, we hadn't had a goal direct from a free kick until Clint Dempsey dispatched one in the semi-final. Then Kemal Lawrence did the same for Jamaica against Mexico. They're on their feet here in Santa Clara because Josie Altidore has fired the United States of America a step closer to a 6th Gold Cup victory. Curled beautifully. I was talking about him packing a punch, but this is finesse. And it's a goal. It's USA 1, Jamaica 0. Bruce Arena celebrates and may have a different team talk in the dressing room to the one he was planning. Goals change games. Josie Altidore's 39th for his country. And his 4th in this competition down the years has lit up the occasion. USA 1, Jamaica 0 as we go into added time in the first half. Big man, big moment. Scored against Costa Rica, scores against Jamaica. 2 goals in 2 games from a man who'd gone a year without a goal. What a time to get it as well. Right on the stroke of the interval. Now Acosta lifts one up for Areola to chase. And let's see how Jamaica responds to this concession. They lose the ball. Morris is in hustling. Miller's got it. Four minutes of added time. Of course, there was the lengthy stoppage, of course, for the injury to Andre Blake, who will have heard that noise in the dressing room where he is, sadly, having been so badly injured. Here they come back, however, Williams. Jamaica know they have to score to get back into this match. It's not been easy for them to get goals in general. That's the 12th goal the States have scored in this Gold Cup. That's not a bad ball across, and Howard, well, he treats it with disdain. And he gets Areola on his way. Areola is fouled. Well, the United States, who have never lost to Jamaica in the Gold Cup, have just continued a scoring sequence, extending it to 24 matches They've scored in every Gold Cup match since they lost to Mexico 5-0 in 2009, which is a terrific record. In that 2009 campaign, by the way, they had 10 different goal scorers. Well, they've got 9 so far in this tournament. Altidore now matches Jordan Morris and Omar Gonzalez with a couple. So Nagby retains possession and incurs a free kick from Watson. Siobhan Watson, another who plays in MLS with New England Revolution. Another big fella. Well, were USA to conjure up a second goal here, I think they'd be celebrating even more joyfully during the interval. Bradley's free kick here. Cross to the keeper, no problem. He didn't want to pick the ball out of his net, but he's done pretty well with this. He not only made the catch, he released his man Gordon down that channel. And the States are trying to make sure they do not concede a corner. They don't, and they are going to take a lead into the dressing room with them, courtesy of that super free kick from Jose Altidore. It took 45 minutes to find, but Jose Altidore's right foot did the trick, dispatching the ball beyond Dwayne Miller. Theodore Whitmore knows that it's a big, big uphill task now for Jamaica in the second half. Altidore's goal is the difference between these two teams right now. Half-time, USA 1, Jamaica 0. Welcome back here to the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara and the Gold Cup final of 2017. As you can see, Theodore Whitmore there has completed his team talk. And I'm sure you'd love to have been a fly on the dressing room wall to see what he had to say about how he's going to turn this one around. Because Jamaica, who lost the final to Mexico 3-1 in Philadelphia 2 years ago, find themselves in the position of perhaps losing consecutive finals. United States looking to win for the first time since 2013, when a goal from Breck Shea was good enough to defeat Panama in Soldier Field in Chicago. There will be no substitutions, I understand, at the resumption. Jamaica, let me just remind you, did lose their goalkeeper, Andre Blake. Very disappointing for him due to an injury picked up when he saved a Jose Altidore free kick and was replaced by Dwayne Miller. Bruce Arena there is on the cusp of a third win as the coach of the United States of America, having been triumphant in 2002 and 2005. Only Bora Milutinovic, the famous Serb, He's won the Gold Cup twice as a coach, as well as Arena. The pitch was cutting up a little bit. There is the goalkeeper Miller. So he's an experienced man, 30 years of age, but he does play these days in Sweden. And Blake had been such a star of this Jamaican team in the tournament. But it's a massive disappointment. Look at Bradley again, so vocal, the captain. Yesterday, Bruce Arena, in paying tribute to him, said he takes a lot of the weight off his shoulders. He's very much his spokesman out there and does a terrific job as the leader of the team. And he was saying how desperate he is to put the record right, that he's never won the Gold Cup, Michael Bradley. And as the captain, he would be the one who would step up and receive that magnificent trophy that we saw at the beginning of our coverage here in Santa Clara. And another reminder that Clint Dempsey's waiting on the bench, ready to come on and try and score a 58th goal for his country, which would be a new record. Where we go in the second half. Landon Donovan is working for television again here, by the way, and not far away from me up on the gantry. And he is the man, of course, who has the record along with Dempsey. Back with Zusi. Zusi has very much settled into a right fullback role, having been a midfielder earlier in his career. Stymied for the moment, but reverses it for Villafana. Back with Gonzalez. Again, this is the only match in the tournament of 2017 that could go to extra time. The semi-finals and quarter-final this year would have been decided just on penalty kicks if scores had been level after 90 minutes. But this one, the final, does go to 30 minutes before penalties. Should we have a tie? The USA would love to find a second goal early in the half and really put this one to bed. Villafana there, actually from Anaheim here in California. Spent much of his life in Mexico. Altidore, was he onside? Yes, he was. Jamaica decide that the only safe place for the ball is over the sidelines. Altidore's goal really lit up the occasion. Here he is again now. He had the presence of mind not to rip his shirt off tonight. Unfortunately, he incurred a yellow card when he did that, the big man, with his semi-final winner and his exuberance and his excitement, which I think is understandable. Dempsey got the other goal on that occasion. It's Jamaica who need a goal now, as Bradley finds Areola. Really good play there from Morris, getting back to make sure that Jamaica didn't make any advancement through the middle. Oh, this is a free kick, and that could even be a booking. A whacking of the fingers from Alvas Powell. Almost telling the referee, don't book me. Nagby good on the ball. The left arm was extended across the chest of Nagby. But no booking for Powell. They actually play for the same club team, Portland Timbers, those two. So they're intimate friends. Free kick from Bradley, looking for a second here. Keeper's got it second time around. A good quick early throw, and then Mattox has supplied a pass out to the right touchline here for Jamaica, who do have ambitions because they've got 4 forward already. With a corner kick. With their second. Conceded by Matt Beasler, one of many Sporting Kansas City players in the US lineup. Zeus is another one. Sporting Kansas City, one of the success stories of MLS. The USA a goal up, 4 minutes into the second half, but now defending this corner kick. Howard hasn't made a save. Will the former Manchester United and Everton goalkeeper have to make one now? A lot of yellow shirts in there, a lot of tall men, as we know, and an equaliser! Jamaica are on the score sheet, and it's Watson who has belted it beyond Howard. The first time Howard's conceded in the Gold Cup, and what a time to score! Javon Watson rammed it into the net, and their support is gleeful. The Reggae boys are back. It's USA 1, Jamaica 1, and they say thank you. And the way they know how he has managed to steal away there. He got away from Morris, and no goalkeeper on earth could keep this one out. And Javon Watson has his 4th international goal, and it comes in the Gold Cup final for Theodore Whitmore and co. USA 1, Jamaica 1. Oh, what a final we've got now as Areola tries to burst through. Well, I wouldn't say it was unexpected, but bearing in mind it was Jamaica's first shot, I suppose it was. It's taken 50 minutes, but Watson's got it. And that will do nicely for the Jamaicans. An elementary goal from Watson. It's what a piece. 5 minutes into the second half, the complexion of the game has changed. He's just explaining there that he's got 4 broken fingers. How sad is that for Andre Blake? Shows the power of the shooting of Jose Altidore, and the fact it was probably not helped by the follow-through from Acosta. Well, I'm not saying Acosta did any damage, but Blake certainly hurt. It's 1-1 here now in the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And, Jamaica threatening to spoil the United States party again, as they did 2 years ago. Arena, the coach with the headache now. Jamaica's 7th goal of this tournament. I mentioned earlier about the physical presence of the Jamaican players. There's no doubt about it. They have got a lot of very, very tall men. They're very, very strong in the set pieces. So it was no surprise in a way that once Watson stole in there behind Jordan Morris, that he smashed the ball into Tim Howard's net. The first goal conceded by Howard in this Gold Cup. The 4th the United States have conceded. They've netted 12. Goal number 54 of the Gold Cup of 2017. And it really has set us up for a cracking final now. Powell, away by Lowe. Not going to be easy for the United States to maintain that record of never having lost to Jamaica in the Gold Cup. Not by any means. They've won 5 and drawn 5. Altidore will get to this, will he? I'll make sure the answer to that question was no. Beasler steps forward, but then gifts the ball to the opposition, who stream forward in number. That's a brilliant ball over the top. Howard's come, and well, he did handle the ball outside his area. It doesn't matter because the flag was raised. It was offside, but it was an intuitive pass that was played up there for Fisher to attack. Cut and thrust about the game now. in low. But here we have him, Clint Dempsey. I said he'd certainly get his chance at some stage. He's not had to wait long in this second half, has he? 9 minutes of the second half, and Kellen Acosta will be replaced by the United States joint record goal scorer Clint Dempsey. A popular move because Dempsey is a popular man. He had an irregular heartbeat problem earlier in the year, which is why he was missing for some time, but he came back with a hat-trick against Honduras in a 6-0 win. He got his 57th international goal in the semi-final. And there's a terrific roar of acclaim for the striker. Another slip, this time by Areola. To Bradley. Well, they're making life hard for themselves at the moment. Forward again with Zusi now. We know he can curl a good cross in. Saw him set up a goal for Matt Miazga with a lovely free kick against Nicaragua. There's some real purpose about Jamaica now, but that's definitely offside. Well, there's actually better news than I gave you about Andre Blake. The fingers are not broken, but there are 7 stitches inserted. That is a latest medical bulletin on the Jamaican goalkeeper for you. So slightly better news, though I'm sure he's still unhappy to be sat on the sidelines. Magby. Free kick here for the States. Magby's winning quite a few free kicks today. Protestations led by Ritchie. Ritchie, who came in for the last game in place of the suspended Kevin Lambert, has retained his spot, but he's got a yellow card today. They've had 5 of those in the last couple of games. They are physical, but then it's a physical game, is football, so nothing wrong with that. Well, he's been beaten once, he doesn't want to be beaten again, especially having seen his side force their way back in through that Javon Watson equaliser. Bradley, I think he's not to get the ball too close to the goalkeeper if he can help him here, Bradley, but he's got to try and chip it in there and look for a Dempsey or an Altidore, and it is short of the keeper. We've now got a Jamaican player lying on his back in the penalty area. Quite a few stoppages in all of the matches. It is low. The Tampa Bay Rowdies player feeling his back. There he goes for it, along with Gonzalez. I think it's the way he's landed here, as much as anything. Well, the game's been played in excellent spirit, and it's tied at 1-1. So again, I will remind you that if it's still 1-1 after 90 minutes, we'll get a bonus 30 minutes. Theodore Whitmore plotting. He won 120 caps for his country, scored 24 times. One of the most celebrated Jamaican footballers of all time. Magby and Bradley together in harness. He's done brilliantly here to retain possession, but can he find anybody else in the colours of USA? No, he couldn't. Throw in. Nagby, another of the half a dozen players who were introduced after the group stages. Rather ruefully there, Darren Mattocks picks himself up. He was looking at the referee to see if he was going to get a free kick for the Gonzalez challenge, and the answer was no, he was not. It is Bradley. Well, when both teams score in the final, it sets things up beautifully for us. We're coming up to an hour played here in Santa Clara. One of so many fine stadiums in the United States. Once again, the whistle going, and Watson pleading innocence. Dempsey's first contribution, down he goes. That wasn't bad enough to incur a yellow. Clint Dempsey on and looking for that goal that would really give the crowd something to roar about here. And confusion between goalkeeper and defender for once, but they got away with that. And a burst down the left from Lawrence. He's an exciting player, Kemar Lawrence. He played 57 out of 58 league games for the New York Red Bulls last season. Morris can only glance it down and then does get possession. There's great purpose and spirit about this Jamaican lineup. Altidore, clever, little flick, only away as far as Zusi. Every pass is being played rather quickly at the moment, and under pressure. Morris trying to get away from that pressure. It's applied all the way through. Bradley, straight away Nagby is challenged. Very little space out there. Bradley in the centre circle now. Too long on the intent for Zusi. Graham Zusi, 30 now. A man who had a trial at West Ham United not long ago and has a degree in criminology. Bradley there did have a spell in England as well. He's played in half a dozen countries. The giant scoreboard gives the story. USA 1, Jamaica 1. Williams and Gonzalez steeled to get to the ball first. Nicely done by Mattocks. He's onside here. The flag will stay down. There's surely no way in from that angle. Just palmed down by Howard. The fish across. Plenty of pace again here about this move, and Morris has made a dart forward to get into position to accept should it come back his way. Dempsey was involved as well. Bradley now taking it on from Altidore. Wide is Areola. Again, so many yellow shirts back defending. All but one behind the ball. Nagby probing here, USA. Useful ball across. Straight into the goalkeeper. Ahead of Areola. The hands of the goalkeeper, Miller. But a more encouraging build-up from the States here, and Areola in some space. Needed to handle the header in a bit better. This is Beasley. As I mentioned, Jamaica has never beaten the United States in the Gold Cup, but they have beaten them. They beat them in the semi-final 2 years ago. But prior to that, they hadn't. forward again here for the States. They look as though they're coming on strong again at the moment, and they've got a corner for themselves. So Bradley's trotting over there. Serena's taking some sort of advice or in conversation anyway. It may be about another substitution. I think it is. It is short for Nagbe. Not very far away. Gonzalez is in there worryingly, and again it's out for the corner. Consecutive corners in the space of 60 seconds. This one conceded by Powell. Well, they're all going to end up in the back of the net if they're not careful. It's the ball they want to get in there. That's what you call a congested area. 25 minutes to go. USA 1, Jamaica 1, with a feeling here that USA are pressing more and more, and that's into the danger area. They will get another corner for that. Yes, they will. Very vocal in there as well as congested. Gonzalez trying to find a bit of space. The goalkeeper under real pressure here, and he has it. He's done well. He stood his ground. Nice moment for 30-year-old Dwayne Miller. The ball in over the top of Beasler and over the top of Lowe as well. Watson's equaliser really giving Jamaica hope in this contest. Zusi wins it, gives it to Nagbe. Zusi should make tracks down the right-hand side, company with Areola. And Zusi again looking up, but there's nothing on for him. So it's all the way back with Gonzalez. Terrific from Morris. The ball back misses out Altidore. Areola can't get there. And amazingly, the ball ricochets off the shins and straight through to goalkeeper Miller. Areola had a headed chance not so long ago. Good burst from Morris. There's Areola again, but just the outstretched leg of the defenders managing to put him off. It was well played by Taylor in particular. Shots for the United States, just a couple for Jamaica, but crucially one found the net. No clean sheet today for Tim Howard, who's kept 42 of them in his USA career. Nice little layoff here for Dempsey, for Morris. I think the keeper will get it. Some lovely link-up play, and there was Viafana coming racing through, storming into the penalty area. Clever turn. Big pass out here to the left-hand side into Gordon. Covered by Gonzalez. He almost races into one of our cameras. Now he's going to race back and defend as Jamaica are coming, looking to take a lead here. That would put the cat among the pigeons, and that's not a bad ball either. No, that one. Is there a shot from Fisher? It's blocked. Jamaica are still dangerous. That there is no question. They're 3 across the 18-yard zone, but they need a better ball than that one. Some real cut and thrust in the second half. That was a crucial intervention. Almost getting Dempsey through. Fisher has been instrumental in a couple of excellent moves in this half. Flag raised, offside, free kick. Mario Williams there, 22-year-old, has come to the fore this last year or two. Yes, he was named after the great Brazilian striker, Romário. Dempsey, there's a gap here, and there are quite a few players across in the centre. There were, but Jamaica covered their tracks again. The ball spun off the turf. It was wicked for Bradley, but he's managed to control it and to give it to Altidore. He too will stroke it forwards. Ariola awarded the throw-in, takes it sharply. Altidore, clever ball from him. Corner kick. Won by Zusi. Hard work for that Jamaican defence right now. But they're covering well. Taylor and Lowe and Lawrence all covering well for the Jamaicans. A Bradley corner kick for the United States. 5 they've had, 2 Jamaica have had. 20 minutes to go before extra time. Do we need it? Bradley's ball in, headed just wide. Gonzalez looking for what would have been a third of the tournament. The man who specialises in Gold Cup goals. He's scored 3 for his country, all coming in this competition. Headed it just wide. Always a danger. I think the crowd are thoroughly enjoying this fight.
Be part of the game and vote now for the man of the match. Download the official Gold Cup app and vote for the man of the match now.
It was in 1991 that USA won the inaugural Gold Cup against Honduras. They were often played Mexico in finals, but here they are now finding the Jamaicans very stubborn opposition. I'm sure they expected that. Michael Bradley chips it over to Zusi. His header is back to Ariola. No way through for the man from Tijuana in Mexico. That's where he plays. Gordon there is with Montego Bay, winning just his 7th cap in this match. Now Bradley, the last man back there, they just knows where to be. Dempsey's come deep to be involved. Sure, USA want him near the penalty area. He's an elegant player, Clint Dempsey. Nagby drives forward. Morris, here is Dempsey. A little layoff from him, strength from Altidore. And again, fine save from Miller. Morris thwarted by the fingertips of Miller. The substitute goalkeeper does his job really well here. Dempsey was involved with those delicate touches. Altidore was involved as well. The ball came back from the defender there, from Lowe, and it was hit first time with a splendid save from Miller. Corner USA, Miller off his line, Gonzalez up again for it. He can't do anything. Couldn't get in a header that might have been telling. A Jamaica break with 5 streaking forward. Is this an opportunity for them? It's tickled out to the right-hand side. There are 2 across in the centre. It's whipped across. Oh, missed by the goalkeeper. Howard is having a right old go here. Tim Howard can be very, very vocal indeed. Powell to the fore. And I think Tim Howard, it was a heart-stopping moment for all United States supporters with that ball across the line. Ooh, it's put out from the Fisher cross. It gets beyond Villafana, and Howard, you can see him, he's coming and then he's not coming, and it's finally put out. It was Zusi, and confusion, great confusion. Theodore Whitmore looking for his side to take a lead. They might yet. Remember, they got their goal from a corner from this side of the field. Watson will be in the same position he was from where he scored, at the back stick, trying to get the better of Jordan Morris. He's done it once. Is there another shock in store for the United States here? Not for the moment.
The attendance for tonight's match is 63,000.
So you may hear that announcement over the public address system here in Santa Clara. The attendance is a terrific one. 63,032 spectators. Dempsey's header off the post. Back it comes again. Away. And all 63,000 fans would have savoured that moment if Clint Dempsey had broken the USA scoring record. Got the header in okay, but frustrated by the frame of the goal. There's the header down to the goalkeeper's right. I think Miller may just to get a touch on it. Let's see if he does or not. Yes, he does. Two very, very fine saves from Dwayne Miller in this second half, and Clint Dempsey, the wait goes on for goal number 58.
A yellow card caution has been issued to USA's number 19.
There's a yellow card for Zusi amidst all of that. The second stage player booked today, and Areola is off, and Zardes is on. Yassi Zardes, I'm not surprised. I thought he would get a run at some stage. He's quick, and he may provide us with the impetus for a winning goal yet in the remaining 14 minutes. Here he is on the ball now, Yassi Zardes. From LA Galaxy. I'm sure the opportunity might well come. Jamaica really under the cosh at the moment. Free kick awarded. Well, Bruce Arena's made the decision to bring Zardes on, a man who was very unlucky to have a goal chalked off in this tournament for offside when he wasn't offside. And we've got just over 13 minutes left for somebody to prevent the game going into extra time. It's not been short on incident, it's not been short on goal-scoring chances in the second half, that's for sure. But Josie Altidore's free kick in the first half was cancelled out early in the second by Devon Watson. Here is Zardes. Doesn't get it in first time, gets the ball back. Can't thread it through to anybody in the same coloured shirt. Rugby for the United States of America, tied at 1 apiece in the Gold Cup final. Conceded a goal for the first time in 4 matches, and now Zeus is shouting an annoyance at himself by playing the ball straight out. Well, you can't get closer than that. Coach and player in conversation. Kemar Lawrence taking on advice from Theodore Whitmore, who stands about a foot away from him, as he also takes the throw in and throws it straight out of play. Well, we all know who they support. The Reggae Boys. Only ever qualified for 1 World Cup. They're already eliminated. They will not be going to Russia next year. USA hoping that they will be for the 8th consecutive time. But of paramount importance here is to try and win the Gold Cup initially. Zardes floats one through, doesn't get to anybody. The break is led by Gordon. We all know they've got explosive pace, and Gordon's on a run here. He's on a mission, and he might have played Mattox in. It is Mattox! Howard spreads himself. Offside given. But they are exciting, aren't they? People like Gordon and Mattox, terrific pace. That was where the flag was raised. Fana jogging back there. Because he might have been wincing a moment ago. She's got, look, Just looking at, he's feeling a hamstring perhaps. They're ready for a party, the drummers. That be inevitably. Dempsey, Altidore. Free kick. Might have been a hand there. And Ritchie. He's been booked in this game, so he's got to be careful. The distinctive chanting of the Stars and Stripes supporters, hoping their team can eke out this 6th Gold Cup success. Michael Bradley poised. Dempsey one of those in there. Altidore another. Zardes has arrived on the scene. 10 minutes to go. Be a great time to score. It might be too close to the keeper. It doesn't get to him. And now Tim Howard says to Zusi, leave it with me. Not had a great deal to do, Tim Howard, yet he's been beaten once and almost conceded a second a few minutes ago. Jamaica proving redoubtable opposition. Zusi can drive in from here. Instinctive pass to Zardes. Now rolled under Zardes' boot. Bradley. Once again the probing goes on. Zusi. Rugby for Bradley. There's a gap out on the left. Here it is. First time ball in. It was too sharp. Scuffed away, but that will do. Clearance from low, effective. 8.5 minutes left.
Be a part of the game and vote now for the man of the match.
Jamaica, the first country outside of USA and Mexico to reach consecutive finals, as Ritchie has a problem with his stockings, tie-ups. Where is the winning goal going to come from? Or will it be from 12 yards out? Zusi. He thought of a shot there before supplying the ball for Zardes, who we know has pace, but then so have all of the Jamaicans. Zardes is not going to get beyond Lawrence. Lawrence cracks it against the shins of Zardes, who's featured in just about every match. He's probably had as much game time as anybody. And again, Theodore Whitmore is on the touchline, bellowing orders to his boys. Well, Jamaica now have got it up to 31% to USA's 69%. But still heavily favoured against his side. Bruce Arena wondering where that winning goal is going to come from. He's used 27 players during this tournament. That's a remarkable number. We're no nearer knowing who's going to win here than we were at kickoff time. Looked good when Altidore gave the United States that lead with a sublime free kick just before the interval. But then the equaliser from Javon Watson settle things down again. Zusi for Zardes. Again he tries to find an avenue down the right, only to be denied. Rugby once again goes round in a circle before finding Bradley. He's the one he always looks for. Foul on Altidore. Well, we all know he can hit a free kick. I don't think he's going to hit another one. We all know Dempsey can take a good free kick as well. He curled one in wickedly in the semi-final to equal the Landon Donovan record. The arm raised from goalkeeper Miller. maybe just a touch further out than the one in the semi-final against Costa Rica. Right, it looks like he's going to have a go. He had a quick word from Bradley. Is there another golden moment in the Gold Cup for Clint Dempsey? Short, they're in here, and so is the keeper. Morris keeps his feet, and they've survived another scare. Well, look for all the world there as though somebody in the United States colours would have got a shot in. Clever manoeuvre worked on the training ground. No goal to be had. Here it is again. Fired through, and it looked as though Beasler might be in, as though Morris might be in. And in the end, nobody was in. 4.5 minutes to go. Clint Dempsey still awaits. The whole of America still awaits. Jamaica would certainly settle for 30 extra minutes. They're going to make a switch themselves in a moment. And they have a free kick. Who knows? Remember, they scored in the 88th minute against Mexico, and they've got this man prepared. Kevin Lambert, a 20-year-old, who's another who's had a trial at West Ham United, just like Graham Zusi. He's coming on to replace Ritchie. That's a logical switch, like for like. And Lambert can play a part for 3 or 4 minutes, plus added time, and maybe another 30 minutes. Kevin Lambert, who plays, he's having a few visa problems. Trying to get a work permit to play for Vojvodina in Serbia. Free kick Jamaica. Is there drama here to be had late on in the match? No, but it was a bit heart-stopping for the Americans. Low, stretching those long legs of his, trying to get a touch on this. The flag didn't go up.
Exiting the match, number 4, Ladali Ritchie.
Watson's got 1 goal already.
Number 17, Kevin Lambert.
3 minutes away from extra time. Morris harassed. Beasler to Gonzalez. Theodore Whitmore really is playing his cards now, because he's also got Corey Burke ready, a player who plays for Bethlehem Steel. Dempsey's returned it to his left. There are plenty of cross in the centre, and there should be another cross coming in. There are 4 Americans in the 18-yard area, awaiting whatever is coming their way. Altidore back for Bradley. Zardes. It's a decent ball in, not very far away. Winning goal, probably from Morris. Jordan Morris has brought the stadium to its feet. Miller beaten with 88 minutes on the clock. They've looked vulnerable. They've wanted a winner. USA may just be on the way to a 6th Gold Cup. Bruce Arena, a hint of a smile, not as big as the one of Jordan Morris. The Zardes cross went to a Jamaican head, but as the ball came back to him, Morris flashed it into the net first time, unerringly. It's his 3rd Gold Cup goal. He's equal top scorer in the competition now, and he may just have won the Gold Cup for the United States of America here in Santa Clara. Advantage USA, advantage Bruce Arena, and goal Jordan Morris. His 5th for the country, and a very disappointed looking Darren Mattocks will be replaced by Corey Burke for 1 minute and probably added time. Unless Jamaica can provide something really extra special now in terms of a climax. Jordan Morris got the winner against Jamaica when these teams met in February. Deja vu. Not over yet. And Bruce Arena may also be on the verge of history. Morris has brought him very close to becoming the first man to win 3 Gold Cups as a coach. Dax McCarthy wants to play a part in the final. There are 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. And if Jamaica don't score in those 3 minutes, the Gold Cup will be going to the United States for the 6th time. What a decent try that is from Romario Williams. That wouldn't have been in the script. The Jamaican script, yes, but not for USA. First time try, thumps it in. And here is McCarthy taking the place of Nagby. But the party may just be about to begin here in Santa Clara. Nagby certainly has played his part. He gives way to McCarthy, the Chicago Fire midfielder. The looks on those faces tell you they think they've done it. They think they've done enough. I think Tim Howard has been told to get on with it by the referee from Guatemala. He's adding the time on that he feels has been wasted by the goalkeeper. Halfway through, Howard got the yellow card for delaying the restart. And 1.5 minutes and this added time to go. But I think the referee will add another 30 seconds on at least. Morris the hero. So no record goal as yet for Clint Dempsey, but the public here delighted that Morris has turned up trumps for them. He's now the joint top scorer with Alphonso Davies of Canada and Kevin Parseman of Martinique in the tournament of 2017. 2 goals against Martinique, but a far more important one here in the final against Jamaica for Jordan Morris, who's becoming a very popular figure in soccer in this country. Gonzalez is 1-2 as he heads clear there. Then it's lifted by Watson, the Jamaican goal scorer, over to the far side. Fisher nods it down. Forward is Powell. Is there one last effort to be had from the Caribbean side? Or is it going to be consecutive defeats in the final for them? They lost 3-1 to Mexico in 2015. They're 2-1 down in this one. Here they swing the ball across. First time away by Zusi. Dempsey tried to run it out. Altidore would have done, but he's taken down. And the time is almost up for Damien Lowe there and the rest of the Reggae boys. Theodore Whitmore's side have fought very bravely. The arms are raised though, because victory goes to Bruce Arena and the United States of America. Disappointment for Theodore Whitmore, but the winning goal from Jordan Morris has secured Arena's 3rd success and the United States' 6th success in Concacaf's major competition. Over 63,000 fans here in the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara to witness this moment, this joyous moment in US soccer history. Morris is taking all the acclaim. Altidore got the goal in the first half, and although Javon Watson hit a stunning equaliser from a corner kick, it is the United States who prevail and will be putting their hands around the trophy very shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Concacaf President Victor Montagliani will now present the Medals of Recognition to honor tonight's match officials.
First up are the referees, led by Walter Lopez. We will be hoping that in 12 months' time he will be a part of the FIFA World Cup in Russia. It's a superb arena, and we've been blessed with some terrific stadiums here hosting this competition. And now Michael Bradley and Andre Blake with a little bit to discuss.
The 2017 Gold Cup Fair Play Trophy, presented by Sonia Guillen, Concacaf Council member, which is awarded.
Team USA have been awarded the Fair Play Trophy, and as their captain Michael Bradley will step up to receive that award. It's for the team which shows the best sporting spirit and fair play during the course of the tournament. And Michael Bradley, who has never won the Gold Cup before in his career, is accepting on behalf of the entire squad. 27 players used during the course of the tournament. He's got his replica.
Our next award is to commemorate the Scotiabank Young Player Award of the 2017
Young player of the
Gold Cup,
tournament
presented by
is the
Elizabeth
next
Hansen
award.
from Scotiabank. From Canada, number 12, Alfonso Davies.
And Alfonso Davies from Canada has been given that award, and Steve Reed is stepping forward there to accept on behalf of the joint top scorer in this competition, Alfonso Davies, who scored 3 times. Had a cracking tournament, netting a couple of goals in the 4-2 win over French Guiana, and scoring again in the 1-1 draw with Costa Rica. The young player of the tournament, Alfonso Davies of Canada. Disappointing night in so many ways for Andre Blake, who had to be replaced, and you can see from that shot why he had to be replaced. 7 stitches inserted in the right hand. But the consolation prize for Andre Blake is the fact he has won the Golden Glove Award, and a very, very worthy recipient indeed. He's had a wonderful tournament, keeping 3 clean sheets. And his team may have lost, but Andre Blake takes the Golden Glove Award here in Santa Clara. And he gets a very good reception. Now 3 players were tied for the top scorer of the tournament, all netting 3 times. Alfonso Davies was one of them. And Davies, in fact, wins the award because of the number of assists. Steve Reed, the president from the Canadian Soccer Association, accepting on behalf of Alfonso Davies. Kevin Passaman of Martinique, and of course tonight's hero, match winner Jordan Morris, also netted 3 times, but Davies wins it by virtue of more assists.
We now honor the best player of the tournament to receive the Scotiabank Golden Ball, presented by Luis Hernandez, FIFA Council member, and Manuel Rosales from Scotiabank. From Team USA, number 26, Michael Bradley.
Well, this is a memorable night for Michael Bradley because he has been nominated as the winner of the Golden Ball, the best player in the tournament. And remember, he didn't play in the first 3 matches. He was introduced after the group stages, came in at quarter-final stage, and has played a notable role in leading the United States to team success and his first victory in the Gold Cup.
tournament. Please congratulate the runners-up to the 2017 Gold Cup.
Well, he's smiling again now. The captain of Jamaica, Andre Blake, the 26-year-old goalkeeper from Philadelphia Union, followed by the likes there of Jermaine Taylor from Minnesota. And no consolation, I'm afraid, for Darren Mattocks, who scored in the final a couple of years ago and is a loser for the second time. Only 3 members of that team in 2015 playing tonight, and you can see the agony etched on the face of Mattocks as he steps forward. Watson and Lawrence, Kemar Lawrence and Javon Watson were the only others to play in 2015 when they were beaten by Mexico. So a few words of consolation for them. Some are managing a smile, they're all managing a handshake. Disappointment, but who knows, maybe they were back in another couple of years. He really is disconsolate. Sad shots of the 27-year-old Darren Mattocks, who couldn't add to his 4 Gold Cup goals over the 2 tournaments he's played. But Theodore Whitmore has done a terrific job in bringing this side to the final. The 10th time they've competed in the Gold Cup, but never before had they made an impact until 2015. And what a sad shot that is of one of their finest players. And the entire coaching staff received their medals. There is Theodore Whitmore with a big smile now. Gianni Infantino having a few words for the big fella. And it's still a notable triumph for Jamaica to become runners-up of 2015 and 2017. And they certainly caused a little bit of panic when they netted that equaliser through Javon Watson early in the second half. But the fairy story ended for him and his team with that winning goal so close to the final whistle from Jordan Morris.
Please welcome the winners of the 2017.
Now there will be a big roar as Matt Beasley steps forward. Matt Beasley, the centre half. Paul Ariola, Kevin Acosta, Boggy Viafana, Joe Corona, who scored in one of the matches, Dax McCarthy. All winners, all with gold medals to be draped around their necks. Proud moments indeed for these footballers of the United States of America. Many of them competing in their first ever Gold Cup, an event they will never forget. And Graham Zusi, one of the elder statesmen of the team now at the age of 30. His last goal came against Jamaica. He wasn't on the score sheet tonight, but Jose Altidore was, and so was Jordan Morris. And Bruce Arena, a very, very proud coach indeed, the 65-year-old who was the winner in 2002, winner again in 2005. And for Altidore and Dempsey there, Altidore with 2 goals in the semi-final and final. Dempsey with the record equaling goal in the semi-final. Nagby, another who was brought into the squad specifically to do a job. Do it, he did. And there's the goal-scoring hero, Jordan Morris, who turned down a move to Germany to continue his career in this country at Seattle. And any moment now, that trophy will appear, and he will be asked to lift it. Michael Bradley, beaten in the side in 2011, 4-2 by Mexico. Didn't play in 2013 when they won, but he's definitely a winner tonight. So a wonderful moment in the career of Michael Bradley. But this was all about a team effort, and the USA proved to be the strongest team here in scoring 13 times. And Michael Bradley and the United States of America are champions in the Gold Cup of 2017. It's title number 6 for them. They have closed the gap on Mexico. They have been unbeaten throughout their matches. They drew with Panama, but then they have beaten Martinique, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and finally Jamaica to prove they are the best in Concacaf. We say good night to you from Santa Clara in California.